fellow carbon-based bipeds. I am Scott Rose, and you are watching Explosions and Stuff. Today, I'll be reviewing the 2017 film Black Site Delta, starring Cam Gigadent, Terry Reeves, Michael Dale, and John Brodsky. But first, a word from our sponsors. Overview of the movie. After finding out their top secret prison is under attack by a team of mercenaries, a ragtag group of military prisoners band together to prevent them from getting their hands on a nuclear weapon. It's a race against time as 6 people who don't trust each other must work together to save the world as we know it. The pros of this movie? Well, first of all, this movie just started right away. And by that I mean, the movie starts, the opening credits and everything. And then you see the main hero guy, and he's sitting in a bar. And then somehow he makes some guy at the bar mad. And they get in a fight, and the guy from the bar fight dies. And then the main hero guy wakes up, and he's in this prison cell. And they go through this introduction, and you're introduced to all the other prisoners who are in the prison with him. And then the bad guys show up and all hell breaks loose and people start dying and stuff and it's just glorious. And all that happens within the first 10 minutes of this movie. They did not waste any time. They were very economical. They did what they had to do. They got the point across and they just went to town and beat you over the head with this action stuff. And to tie in with that, the action scenes in this movie were fantastic. Okay, some of the hand-to-hand scenes were kind of lacking a little bit, but the gun battles, oh my god, they were just fantastic. They were moving realistically and just awesome gunfights, and at first, I didn't even notice that they were using digital muzzle flares. I didn't notice that. It took me a while to watch the movie and see these digital muzzle flares, because at first I didn't notice them. I was just that engrossed in the action, and I was just like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen? Munching on popcorn, be like, what's going on? What's going to happen? Who's going to die next? It was fantastic. But the best part about this movie, my favorite part of this movie, was easily John Brodsky's portrayal. I mean, seriously, he stole the show in this movie. He played this guy, Taylor, who, when you first introduced him, he's kind of meek, kind of weird. He's a crazy guy. He was raised as a child, his parents died. He was raised by the government to be this perfect assassin weapon type guy. But then he lost his noodle and he just went to town, started killing whoever he wanted. So you first see him in the cell and you're like, yeah, sure, he's really a threat. Oh yeah, absolutely. I believe that. But then he gets out of his cell. And then the audience gets to watch him go play. Oh my god. It was like a completely different character because he got to go have fun. He got to go do what he likes to do. He wasn't sitting in this cage trying to make friends. He was just it's go time. Oh my god. Like, as a real person, I would never want to meet someone like Taylor. But as a character in a movie, he is absolutely fantastic. He stole the show in this movie. The most entertaining character in this movie, in my opinion, and it was just glorious. It was perfect. It was freaking heaven sent. And I'm sorry, but John Brodsky deserves all the props for nailing this character perfectly. The cons of this movie? Well, let's just get this one out straight ahead. They have this character, the character Terry Reeves played, who I can't remember the character's name because Taylor was just so fantastic. I don't remember anybody else's name. But this character, they tried to make her be this ultimate badass character. but it wasn't believable. I mean, at one point, she's got this, she's kind of, I'd say, like 150, at most 150, probably more like 120 or 130. And she's got this guy who's like almost twice her height and clearly twice her weight standing in front of her with his arms just held out in front of him. And she just grabs him by the arm with just her arms and using just her arms starts swinging him around like a freaking rag doll. No, that's horribly unbelievable. And it's not just that. Like, she was doing things that they try to hammer it in so hard that she was a badass. They just beat you over the head with it so many times. Like, she's doing this because she's a badass. And she took out all these guys before you even saw them because she's a badass. But they hit it hard. They beat you over the head with it so much, and they built her up as such a badass. It's not because she's a woman. It's no one could be that much of a badass. It's unbelievable that anyone could be that much of a badass. It was seriously unrealistic. And not to mention, her hand-to-hand fight scenes were crap. I mean, it was clearly quick cuts, and she really didn't know what she was doing. It was hard to watch, and it really took me out of the movie with them trying to make her such a badass character, and they just tried way too hard. Also, the guns in this movie were clearly plastic. I mean, at one point, someone's, pumping a shotgun, and you can hear the plastic scraping on plastic. You can hear that it's a toy gun. It's obvious. And at one point, someone takes a magazine out of an automatic rifle, throws it in the ground, and it's clearly just plastic bouncing off concrete. They're clearly toy guns. And that also took me out of the movie a lot. I mean, it was fine while they were shooting them. They used the effects very well to pull off the gun effects. It was when they didn't alter sound of like someone doing the pump action of a shotgun or throwing a magazine or throwing an empty magazine on the floor. Things like that, just the sound really took me out of this movie. But I'd say one of the worst things about this movie, it was predictable. I mean, this is a popcorn movie. It doesn't have a deep storyline. You've seen this story many, many times before. It's been done over and over again, and just these same things keep happening and happening. It was very predictable. I was like, yeah, this guy's about to die, but he wants to die, so he'll be happy that he dies, and he'll have no problem with it whatsoever. And he died, and he was cool with it. And I predicted, these ones are going to be the only ones that survive. And I was right. They were the only ones that survived. It was just way too predictable. My overall thoughts on the movie? I really enjoyed this movie, and I give it 2 thumbs up. I'll admit, I didn't expect it to be this good, but I was very pleasantly surprised. That being said, this isn't the kind of movie you analyze for a deeper meaning or an expansive plot or anything. It's one of those where you just shut your brain off, munch on some popcorn, and watch awesome gunfights. If that's what you want, then you need to check out Black Site Delta. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel for new action movie reviews posted every week and top 10 lists posted on the 10th of every month. Also, if you have any recommendations for things you would like me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below and follow us on Twitter at explosions_TV. Thank you and have a nice day.